All right. Well, I got the mic in front of my face this time. This is an experiment, episode 16. It's the first time I've done one of these when it's not super dark in my room. Dark night of the soul. Not really, but kind of. So it is Saturday, August 28th, 3:02 a.m. This is an experiment. Episode, wait, what did I say? 15? 16? What episode is it? Episode 16. It's episode 16. Um, Rolling right along in this journey. Still no views on anything save for that one anomaly. So there's that. Um, what's been going on in my world? Um, and as I think and I talk about this, I kind of almost forget what the point of doing this is. I don't, but I do. Um, I've been really kind of like hard at work, um, which is good. To actually like produce results. There's something that is I've talked about this before, and here's one of the things that's been the most difficult thing for me to get past. I mean, there's been plenty of things that have been hard for me to get past my entrepreneurial journey. One of them is listening to the wrong people about the right things, or rather, just listening to the wrong people about things that I need to learn. Right? Because here's the thing, if you know what your trouble spots are, it's like, I need to learn about this. I don't know anything about copywriting, so I should probably learn about copywriting. But then you listen to the wrong people about copywriting, it's like, oh shit, then what do you do? Right? Or leadership strategy. It's like, oh, I need to work on my leadership, and then you listen to the wrong person when it comes to leadership, and then you're poisoning your swamp basically. um, And as I say that, um, my mom was relating to me an analogy metaphor, um, that was relayed to her by her, I'll just say spiritual leader, before he passed. And in what he'd said to her was that your mind is, and I'm paraphrasing, I believe this is what it was, but it's that your mind is like a swimming pool. Uh, and all of the people uh, come and they swim in your pool. And some people, they come and they'll swim in your pool, and they'll pee in your pool, or they've got all sorts of dirt on them, and they jump in your pool and their dirt washes off and it's left in your pool. Or sometimes people poop in your pool, or they've just got all of their you know stuff, right? It's like that. And when you think about going to a public pool, it is kind of like uh because everybody brings their shit with them to the pool, and they hop in, and everybody's just like swimming in each other's like gross stuff. Like, I guess there's chemicals to keep it clean and all that. Anyway, the metaphor is this: is to be cognizant of the people that you're letting swim in your pool, and what the guidelines are when they do swim in your pool. They have to shower before and after entering, right? Must shower before and after or before entering the pool. You gotta shower off all your stuff before you hop in the pool. As I think back, as a kid, I don't know how many people actually did that. It's like their signs: shower before entering pool. Um, I don't know how many people actually followed that stuff. It's like, no, I'm just gonna. Why would I shower before I get in the pool? I'm just gonna hop in the pool. Like, pfft, like whatever. It doesn't make sense from a hygiene standpoint until it does, and then when it makes sense, it's like, oh shit, I see. Anyway, it was an interesting little metaphor of being conscious of what you feed yourself, what you feed your mind, basically. Um, and as I'm sitting here in this moment, I'm thinking about this. Basically, there's a I'm caught in this place right now. You know what? I'm gonna talk about this. I'm caught in this crossroads of naming names and not naming names. I know I've already done that. I don't have a problem with that. I don't regret doing it because I feel like it's something that that had to be done. So one of this is the dilemma in naming names and not naming names. Um, is that if you name names, then there's inevitably going to be some sort of, like, for whatever reason somebody's going to be like, oh, how dare you name. um, but the thing is that the people that you name names, I say, this person, I'm calling them out, blah 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 blah, you know like I've said before, like, traffic in funnels, I hate their business practices. They're shady at best, despite how much they may say they're great shit. I mean, look, here's the thing. I don't care what um, I don't care what you think about yourself. Here's the thing. Let me one back. Let me wrap it up in this form, okay? If you believe, if I say that this is black, right? I say this is black. I'm like, you know what? This is black. This is a black mouse. And 90% of the people looking at this say, no, let me reframe this. I'm going to pick a completely different thing to make this example. Okay. This is a cylindrical piece of silver. I don't know if you can tell or not, but it's actually, I'm going to say black nickel just to make it more obvious. This is a cylinder of black nickel, right? I mean, obviously, it's not a cylinder of black nickel, but I'm saying it's a cylinder of black nickel. And I can say that it's a cylinder of black nickel, and I can believe that it's a cylinder of black nickel. And I may even be able to get 10 other people to say, yeah, that is, a cylinder of black nickel. Maybe people don't know, maybe some of those people don't actually know what black nickel actually looks like. And I'm like, hey, it's a cylinder of black nickel. And they're like, oh, that's a really cool cylinder of black nickel, because they have no idea what black nickel looks like. And so then, and I'm here, I'm like, hey, look at this cylinder of black nickel. And 10 people are like, oh yeah, that's a really nice cylinder of black nickel. And then there's like 90 people over here like, bro, that's not black nickel. That's like, gold lacquered, bronze, or I don't technically know what the alloy of this metal is, but it's some form of bronze. It's some form of brass, some brass alloy, basically. I don't know exactly. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But they're like, no, that's definitely not a cylinder of black nickel. And I'm like, well, yeah, it is. And all these 10 people agree with me, and the 90 people are like, yeah, but just because you say it is and you think it is, and you have some people that also agree with you, doesn't mean that it's true. Okay? It's not a cylinder of black nickel. Same thing happens when you trust the wrong people about things that you don't understand, or things that you don't know, or things that you are trying to learn, right? You don't know any better. You don't know different metal alloys. And so what do? You trust the person, you trust the first person that tells you this is what it is because you don't even know what you're looking at, right? I don't even know what I'm looking at. And so if somebody tells me this is what it is, it's like, okay, yep, totally going to believe you, right? This is a white styrofoam cup. Oh, yeah, cool. It's actually not styrofoam, it's ceramic. But, get enough people that they don't know what styrofoam is and they don't know what ceramic is. This is a styrofoam cup. Oh, okay. Cool. Like that's how we learn things. That's how we learn. We take something that we don't know and it becomes something that we do know and we reference it against stuff that we already know. Okay? So that's how so when I to bring this back full circle, when I talk about learning or rather listening to the wrong people about the right stuff, it's like I know I need to learn about XYZ, but I don't even know enough to be able to tell whether or not the information I'm being fed is any good because I don't have any frame of reference. It's like when you look at methodologies, it's like there's a million different ways to, rack up $1 million in sales. A million different ways to make $1 million in sales. And everybody that's made $1 million in sales using their way of selling is going to say, my method of selling is the best method of selling because I made $1 million using it. But that doesn't mean that it's the best. And if you don't have 5 methods of selling, then you don't have any frame of reference to know which is the best. For also as well, when saying making claims like this is the best. Like if I were to say this is the best mindset course that I've ever seen, and it's like how many mindset courses have you actually taken? Well, 0. Okay, so who am I to even say that? How can I be like this is the best mindset course I've ever seen when I haven't even taken any, right? This is the best marketing course I've ever seen. Okay, well I haven't taken any, or I've taken like 2 of them, right? There's no frame of reference. And it's easy to get deluded when you don't have a frame of reference. You don't have anything to reference or like cross-reference against. I'm gonna put this in my bank, my mental bank of things to drop off. A comparison of all of that. I wish I could write this down. I'll just have to watch my own replay. I just remembered that I don't have to watch on YouTube because these are being recorded to a hard drive, so I can come back and watch it at roughly 10 minutes. We'll say 8 minutes. We'll say 8-minute to 15-minute, 8-minute to 13-minute marker. So I did this. Okay, I'm gonna come back and rewatch that. Watch again, replay. I digress. One of the we talk about what are the good things and the bad things of all of the stuff that happens, right? So how do we counterbalance all of the things in our mind, right? One of the things that I'd come up against, especially recently, is, and I think I've mentioned this before, is I entered this coaching space at the same time when everybody and their fucking mom decided that they wanted to be a coach. Why? Because everybody lost their fucking job. Okay, well, I guess now is a better time than any because I lost my job and we're in the middle of a pandemic, not going anywhere, not doing much anyway. But as things start to kick back into normal again, life picks up. People are returning back to jobs. People are going back to 9 to 5. People are, quitting the coaching thing. And so it's like the herd is thinning, or at least I like to think so. It's true because people are like, I'm not going to do this. I don't want this. And it's almost a thing of can I, will I stick it out long enough? It's not will I or can I. It's more the question of how long do I have to stick it out before it actually grabs hold. I mean, I'm hoping pretty fucking soon. Ideally, would be great. What was that? Like my whole screen flashed. Um, One of the things that I've had to come up against is reconciling the takeaways with the throwaways. What I mean by that is that when you learn, you learn a whole lot of stuff from a singular person or from a particular educational program or an e-course or mentor or whatever. You learn a whole bunch of stuff, and you also come to realize that lots of the stuff that you learned along with their overarching trying to stop me from saying it, overarching values and principles contradict your own. They contradict your own. It's like, this doesn't make sense. And so the natural inclination is to not want to just reject some of the stuff that you learned, but to actually reject all of the stuff that you learned, because it is counter to your value system, to how you believe that life should flow, right? And it's this kind of like, there's two types of leaders. I kind of picked up some of this from mulling over some. I've been listening to John Maxwell recently, because I've been on a leadership kick, because I need to get that little thing reined in real fast. So I've been listening to John Maxwell a bit recently, not a bit, a lot, and one of the things that I picked up, and I'm not even paraphrasing. This is just me kind of. Some of the things that he had said, like, prompted some of these, like, internal dialogues in myself, and ultimately it landed in this spot of, like, there are two different leaders. There are the leaders that say, and actually this may be something directly from his mouth, and I just don't specifically remember. So credit where credit is due, if it is due there. But there are the leaders that say, show me what I need to see. And then there are leaders that say, see it my way or else. Just learn to see it my way. Just do it my way. Just see it my way, and it'll save a whole bunch of time. It is the leaders that say, what do I need to see, or why won't you see it my way? It's like, they either, what do I need to see, or why won't you see it my way? And the idea of servant leadership, there's one of the things that I found in my own life is I lean more towards the side of servant leadership. There's servant leadership, and then there is authoritarian leadership. Servant leadership is, I'm leading you, but I'm here to serve you as a leader. Okay. Authoritarian leadership is an ego trip. Servant leadership is, I'm here to lead you as a, like, where the leadership role is almost, it's, I don't want to say submissive, but a little bit. Where the leader isn't, the people aren't the subjects of the leader. The leader is the subject of his people or her people. We don't discriminate based on gender here. And when I look at this space that I've been in, this internet marketing, online coaching, there's very much this undercurrent of authoritarian leadership. People love it for some reason, despite the fact that it gives up all of their control, which, I mean, not surprising. People want to. Here's the here's the thing about leading. This is what I've found in my own experience. I feel like I am a natural born leader, whether I like it or not. Mostly not, because it's a lot of responsibility that I just don't want to deal with, but no matter how much I try to avoid it. Like, look, I can try to walk away from my leadership, my calling to be a leader as much as I want to, but no matter how much I try to walk away, or step down, or be like, you know what, I'm just gonna throw up my fucking fingers to the, you know what, don't need to be a leader, don't want to be a leader, don't care to be a leader, I'm not a leader, not born to be a leader, fuck it, like, let me just go follow someone else. Like, it never works. Eventually, I'm gonna come back to a place where it's like, fuck all this shit, like, let me do it a different way. Because the way that all y'all are doing it fucking sucks. And and I can't follow my way into a new path. It just doesn't work that way. But the thing is that you also have to look out for, the people that are, coming along. You have to chop down the branch. Like, I think about it, a leader carrying, his, followers through a wooden forest, and there's all sorts of shrubs and bushes and trees, and the leaders, the ones like fucking like hacking this stuff, and they think they get something, they're walking through, and a like branch slaps them in the face, and or like, they, step into a, they think that it's, 2 or 3 inches of water, and they get to the middle of the stream, it's like poof, there's just like a 3 foot drop, and they fall. Like, that's the leader. It's not fun. It's not. It's like, let me be the first one to take all of the hits, so that you don't have to. That's really what it's about. Um, and being okay with it, and not just being okay with taking the hits, but also, you know, here's another thing. I see it this way too, where, think of it almost a leader leading his, group down a hill or whatever, and the leader's down at the bottom of the hill, slashing up, and like, and then there's the guy all the way, or lady all the way at the end of the pack, that's 250 feet, 300 feet behind, all the way up the hill. They're like, hey, leader, there's something dangerous up ahead. And you're like, I don't see it. Well, no shit, you don't see it. There's a whole bunch of brushes and trees and bushes in your face. And you got the guy at the back of the pack that's saying, hey, look out ahead. There's this thing that you can see because I'm at the top of the hill and you're not. Um, and the leader can either say, thanks for having my back, I'm going to pay attention, or fuck you, I'm the leader. And then they get like, something blows up in their face. That's how it goes. Here's the thing. And anytime that I find myself trying to step away from my leadership, it never works out. When I start saying, fine, you know what? Fuck it. I'm a leader. And I have to like step up to the plate as a leader and own my role in this world as a leader. Things start like flowing again. So it's like and it does come back to this idea of like, what is a leader, right? What does it mean to be a leader? There's organizational leadership, um, in being like a CEO or operations officer, whatever, the corporate leaders or the, you know, team leaders, managers, that type of stuff. Um, but there's leaders in the form of influence. And that's where I see myself is a leader of influence. A leader is an agent of change. That might have come from John Maxwell as well. I don't know. Um, Here's one of the things about me that I know to be true is I have very fluid integration of ideas. What I mean by that is I'm able to listen to something that somebody's talking about as I'm learning and integrate that into my own structure really quickly so that it I'm able to recall it almost, I don't want to say almost effortlessly, but at a point where it's like I hear something and not like photographic memory, but I hear someone say something or and it just like sticks and it gets filed away in the brain and at some point I end up regurgitating it, but it's not really regurgitation because it's been integrated with all of my own thoughts and beliefs and stuff like that. So I'm able to absorb and expand upon it um, versus just, fragrant regurgitation. I hate that shit. One thing that I aspire to never be is a regurgitator. I despise it. I despise it. What do I mean by a regurgitator? Mini-me's, right? The Jordan B. Peterson Juniors of the world, the Elon Musk Juniors of the world, the Joe Rogan Juniors of the world, the oh, what the fuck is that dude's name? Jordan Bell of Wolf of Wall Street. What the fuck is his name? I don't know. He ripped off a bunch of people. What's so funny about that dude? That fucking that guy got fucking rich as shit ripping off a bunch of people, went to jail, got out of jail, and then immediately started legitimately making money teaching all of his methodologies that he used to rip people off before he went to jail. I mean, if that's not like a once in a lifetime con man, I don't know what is. Let me con my way into let me con my way into insane amounts of wealth, and then in such a way that I end up going to jail for it for a long time, all at that for a long time. And then now that I'm out of jail, I'm going to start a legitimate business teaching other people how to do the stuff that I did to rip people off. It's bravo. I said this the other day. Is one thing that I've learned in my journey in business is that someone can make just as much money being a piece of shit as they can being good to people. It's true. Sometimes you can make more money. Like honestly, like some people, like some of the people that make the most money treat people like the most shit. Devalue people. I mean, and it's Oh, that's a whole discussion for another day. You know, the one thing that I will always filter everything through, you know, I talk about filters. What do I put stuff through? Putting things through filters. What do I value more? My relationship with someone or that person's dollar bills? Is valuing a relationship with someone more than their money bad for the bottom line of the business? Maybe. Do I give a rat's ass? Fuck no. Would I ever value dollars over people? No. Will not do it. Does that mean that I'm going to make less money? Maybe. Am I going to be sad about it? Am I going to lose sleep at night knowing that I'm not making as much money because I'm not prioritizing, profits over people? Not going to lose any sleep at all. I will sleep so soundly in a middle class house with a middle class bed, with middle class dogs, in a middle class car, in a middle class neighborhood, knowing that I'm operating in integrity and congruence with my values. I can sleep at night doing that. I could delude myself into not doing that. I could delude myself into being a piece of shit and making money off of it. Like honestly, I could if I wanted to just be a complete piece of shit, I could make a lot of money doing that. I could make a lot of money being a piece of shit. A lot of people do make a lot of money being a piece of shit. It's true. It's a real thing. Um, I'd rather not. Talk about this legacy thing again, you know? I don't think about what I want my legacy to be, right? It's like I just think what I ask myself, and it's not even what I don't want my legacy to be. I don't even care about having a legacy. But what I ask myself is, do I want to be remembered as that guy? Yes or no? Hell yeah or hell no? Do I want to be remembered as the guy that became like what I was thinking is, do I want to be the guy that I think about my stint in marketing memes, and I almost like did a whole thing with that. I tried to, I really did. And a whole marketing thing around, and you know what? And I started asking, I was like, do I really want to be known as like, is that what I want to be remembered for? I was like, yeah, this is the dude that like makes really good marketing memes. No, not really. Could it be my thing? Sure. Do I really want it? Not really. Would it be fun? Yeah. But man, making not about it. I'm just not about it. Not about it. I don't want that to be my thing. Sassy marketing could be your thing. It can be a lot of people's things. It is a lot of people's things. And sure, it could be my thing too. Hey man, fuck off. Now give me your money. Uh, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to be a piece of shit. I'm not saying that sassy marketing is being a piece of shit or anything like that. But like, just the overall idea of like the idea of like, what do I want to be remembered for? And I'll put things through that filter. Like the post that I made a couple of weeks back, where I said that client kit with traffic and funnels ruined my mindset. And I put that through my filter, and I'd be like, do I want to be remembered as the guy that said that? Well, I don't want that to be the only thing that I'm remembered for, obviously. But rather, do I have a problem with being known for that? And for me, the answer is no. I don't have a problem with that. And one of the reasons is because it's true. Now, I'm not saying that their program sucks balls. I'm not saying that at all. Okay. I'm not saying that that the information that they provide is incredibly worthless, because it's not. I'm not saying the people that work for the company are bad, because they're not doing their jobs. But for me, the problem that I had is that I was being indoctrinated into a business mindset that was against my fundamental core values. Yep. Here's the thing about indoctrination. You don't realize that it's happened. First of all, you don't realize that it's happening. Second of all, after it's happened, you don't realize that it's happened. The only time that you realize that you've been indoctrinated into a system of beliefs, that you've been indoctrinated into an ideology, is after you've broken the indoctrination. Once you've broken the spell, so to say, once you become disillusioned to the facade, that's when you realize that you've gone through some sort of indoctrination process, once all the other stuff fades away. And once it all faded away, and once I broke the illusion, once I broke the facade, I realized that that's what the problem was. It was like lots of the stuff that they said, it just violated my core values. And it's like, okay, well, you can either change your core values or get lost. It's like, what? What kind of business? What kind of coaching is that? Change your mind to the way that I say to change it to, or else. That's not coaching. That's not leadership. Anyway, in just so it doesn't go completely unsubstantiated, in case any person is like, oh, what blah blah blah. In case in some random far off future somebody watches this and they're like, dude, what's your problem with traffic and funnels, man? What the fuck, bro? This is my problem. Is that I signed up to be taught how to take all of the stuff that I know and package it into a deliverable, basically, into something that I can teach someone or help someone with, or all this, that, and the other thing. And it didn't really teach me that. I got a lot of marketing and sales, which isn't what I came there for. I guess I don't even really know what I was going there for. Which, I mean, that really says a lot. If you buy something without really knowing exactly what it is that you're buying, it's worth asking questions about. And I'm not the only person that's had that experience. I know a couple people that are like, yeah, I bought it, and honestly, like, I don't even really know what I was buying, and I don't even really know what I learned while I was in it. Honestly, I don't even know what I really learned. And because it is kind of like this, like, but anyway, I went to learn how to, because I might have said this before on the channel already. They asked me on the call, what's the thing that's getting in your way? Well, I want to know how to take all of my, beliefs and ideas and, philosophies and all of that stuff, and put it together in a way that I can, sell it to someone and deliver it and all of that. And I got a lot of instruction on marketing and creating a sales script and like writing organic copy and all of this stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. This is a lot more than I came here for, which is to learn how to design a program, is what I came there for. Cool. Yeah. Help me learn how to design a program. And so I got the, create an offer, which there's a difference between creating an offer and creating a program. Creating an offer is, if I can distill traffic and funnels offer creation philosophy I can teach it. I could teach it to you in 5 minutes if I wanted to, and they blow it up in this big huge thing. It's not that complicated. I help people with problem using IP. I help people with problem while avoiding pain using intellectual property, patented process, whatever, trademark process. I help people with problem using process, whatever. Find something that's highly targeted, pick a niche, sell it. There, that's like Traffic and Funnels offer training in 30 seconds. Let me save you $10,000. So, and then they give you a worksheet. This isn't about that though. But yeah, so that's what I went there for. And I got that. It's like, okay, cool. I've got this offer. How do I like structure this? Figure it out. I don't know. And I never got to that point where I got the thing that I actually came there for. That's what I was so like, that's why I was just so like, done. And because I didn't get the one thing that I came there for is that, right? So there's that. The other part of this is that in that whole mess that I like been like indoctrinated into this system, like, and then come to real and then become disillusioned to it, like broke the spell, and then like landed back in reality and was like, oh, like all of this stuff is just like counter to my personal code of ethics. And like some of this stuff is just like, I think it's just fucking shady. I'm not doing it. And the hard part is there was still some really good stuff that I learned from them. Was it $10,000 worth of information? I don't think so. No. I've gotten more value from, $47, clickbait funnel courses. Honestly, I'm like wrapping up a 30-day challenge with someone. We had like 4 group calls, and I got more value in that than I really did from TNF. Like, it's like ridiculous. I signed up for somebody's like Dylan Gigliotti. I'm sorry, I don't know exactly how to say his last name. I got a course from him called Messaging Mastery. Thing was like $300 the time I got it, or $300 or $500 when I got it. Way more value, like way more value in that $300 or $500, 4-week course, than the TNF stuff. And so it's like, all of this to say, I'm gonna pull this back, all the way back, because you might be like, Dave, why are you talking about all of this shit right now? It seems like you're just going off about how pissed you are at TNF, right? That's not entirely true, because they became the fuel for a lot of my, the fuel source for a lot of my marketing material. So it wasn't all, it's like there's always a silver lining. But to bring this all back, like full circle to the beginning, when I said one of the biggest obstacles that I had to get past was reconciling listening to the wrong people about the stuff that I needed to learn, right? Because I listened to these guys, and 95% of the shit that I learned from them was kind of just like, but that 5% was useful. And so getting past my own ego and like, fuck those guys over at TNF, getting past all of that and being like, okay, yep, shit experience. They took me for a ride. They overpromised and underdelivered and all of that stuff. But let me put all of those things and like, let me check my ego and be like, but there's like 3 things that I learned that are really valuable. Were those 3 things worth $10,000? Absolutely not. But there's still things that like I don't want to discount. What are those 3 things? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. If I had to tell you what the most valuable thing I took away from TNF, well, let's see. Let's challenge this. Let's do it. Let's do a challenge. What are my three biggest takeaways? Positive takeaways that I got from Client Kit with Traffic and Funnels. Three best things that I learned from them. Community is important. The people that you surround yourself with is important. Number one, environment matters. And their environment was the wrong environment for me. So, lesson learned, right? Lesson two. Lesson two. You would think that for taking a $10,000 course, I would have more than one valuable lesson to take away from it. Um, so I guess we'll put an ellipsis on that, and maybe I'll come back. Maybe I'll come back to that. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything else. Well, we'll just chalk it up to I've integrated it, and I don't know how to separate it. It's really fun. I'm trying hard. I really am. What's something else that I got out of it that was really valuable? You can find your places, you can find your people in places where you wouldn't expect to find them. Number two, you can find your people in places that you wouldn't expect to find them. All of my best clients have come from Client Kit. And you know why they came to me afterwards? Is because they realized that they were wrapped up in some warped ass fucking shit and they needed someone to help them out. One of my clients, one of my best clients, favorite client too, he was halfway through CK with Traffic and Funnels. He hired me. He hired me halfway through CK because he thought I was a load of shit, and he's not been. He's like, and yeah, he's been a great client. He's loved having me as a coach. It's been lit. It really funny. I swear. Halfway through CK, he found me. We started talking, and then he ditched CK and just worked with me. I couldn't make this up. I could make it up, but it's not a lie. It's very true. So, lesson number two, you can find your people where you don't think that you would expect them to be. Which is sometimes you have to save your people from the vortex that they got sucked into that they don't need to be a part of. Ooh. Okay. So, lesson one is community matters. Lesson two, you can find people where you might not expect to find them. What else? I don't know. Ellipsis. Look, I'm coming up on 50 minutes, so there's two lessons I got from CK. Two positive takeaways. Yeah. So anyway, you know what? It's almost 4 in the morning now. I look to bring this full circle. Here's the deal. I mean, I've already brought this full circle a bunch of times, and this is less for other people than it is for me. But I think one of the reasons I have such disdain for all of that isn't because of my own personal experience. To come back to the why I'm okay with being the person that said CK ruined my mindset. Is because I know that there's a lot of people out there that feel guilt and shame over their failure and loss and being taken advantage of by predatory marketing, under promising or over promising and under delivering, people that were that got taken advantage of that were less fortunate than me. For me, you know what I think about when I was going through it? There was a dude I know. I don't even remember his name. And he was about to enter school for his doctoral degree in ontological counseling or something like that. I don't know, some weird metaphysical coaching counseling thing. I don't know. Yeah, some like metaphysical anyway, so he's already like ass deep in debt from school, and he was in this, and I saw him struggling, and I was like, and in my mind I'm like, bro, isn't this like your mindset? And like in my mind I was like, dude, you're not gonna make it. um and it wasn't a judgment of like, I want to see you fail or succeed, but it's like, you know you I can see it because I've seen it in myself, and I've even seen it myself in my own journey, my own progression, where it's like, you're really struggling, aren't you? Like, are you going to be able to, and then he just ended up another, few K in debt on top of his school, didn't get the success, didn't get the results and all that. There was another kid, couldn't have been more than 22 years old or something like that. Not saying I want to put limits on people and what they're capable of, but yeah, young kid, ready to go out and get the world. And, I don't know where he got the money to pay for it, because he was working at like a fast food restaurant or something. And, he was, he was doing marketing. He wanted to run ads for businesses or something like, or he was running ads for businesses or wanted to run ads for businesses, local businesses. My guess is he bought a Billie Jean course or something like that, and after getting the Billie Jean course, couldn't figure out how to get his own clients, and so he needed help with marketing, to sell marketing to clients. Anyway, so I never saw him again either. Dude did not succeed, and I can't. I like like thinking about how many of these people that didn't have the wherewithal to push past. It's like, and it's like, oh, is that their responsibility? I mean, look, you can say that it's not your responsibility, to choose who you sell to, but I mean, it's like, you're not serving though if you don't sell with discernment, right? You're not. That's not scaling ethically. If you're promising results and you're not delivering, it's one thing to sell someone when you know that you can help them and you can actually help them, but it's another to delude yourself into thinking that you can help someone to justify selling them, which is what some of these sales guys do. What do I got to do to close the next sale? Yep, let me just close. Close, close, close. I'm a sales closer. That's all I do is I close sales. And after I close them, I don't ever have to talk to them or deal with them ever again. Not my problem anymore. I'm the sales guy. Look at me, hotshot sales. Not my responsibility to, not their financial situation isn't my responsibility. That's true. but making sure they're a qualified buyer is. That is, I mean, look, if you're a sales advisor and you're advising someone on whether or not they should buy, you should probably know what the bare minimum qualifications are for who your stuff works for and who your stuff doesn't work for. And if you're tracking your fulfillment as well as you're tracking, this isn't directed to them. This is directed to any business. If you track your fulfillment as much as you track your sales and marketing, then your results should be through the roof with everyone. But if your results with tracking fulfillment are lackluster and underwhelming relative to your tracking with sales and marketing, then there's something to be looked at, right? All things equal. And I just can't help but think about how many people that are less fortunate than I am, they got suckered into this and like just like screwed the pooch on it. Like, it sucks for them. These are people's lives that we're talking about. To someone that makes, 500, 700K, 1 mil months, $10,000, yeah, not a lot of money. To somebody that's $50,000 or $60,000 in debt and is living paycheck to paycheck, $10,000 is a lot of money. And it's enough money to screw up someone's life. $10,000 gone in the wrong income bracket is enough to fuck up someone's life. At least for a little bit. Don't give me that owning results bullshit, right? Look. This is a bidirectional accountability thing. This is bidirectional accountability. Clients are just as responsible for their success as you're responsible in supporting them towards that success. If you're selling coaching, coach them. If you're selling an info product, sell it as an info product and price it as an info product. An info product with group calls is not a coaching program. Don't price it like one. Info product with a group call is not a coaching program. Mastermind is not a coaching program. Saying that you're going to work with coaches when that means 10 or 15 minutes once, maybe twice. So we gotta have this shit together. Oh God, it's fucking 4 a.m. All right. I'm glad I cleared this out of my system because I think it needed a drop, but I gotta go to bed still. So this is An Experiment, episode 16, Saturday, August 28th, 4:01 a.m. Peace out, girls. Bye.